statue with its hands clasped in supplication. If Amara ignored the blood and rancid smell of the afterlife, she could imagine him praying to her. In death, at least, the man could finally see her as who she wanted to be. A master. Such a pity, she snarls, the man's lifeless eyes beaming up at her. She nudges his head over to the other side with the toe of her boot, examining his worn crow's feet, withered brown skin, wide, unblinking gaze. A pity indeed. A pity that he wasn't of more use to them. Around her, wind whips through the white mountains, frigid as ice, yet comforting to her skin. After all, her blood runs cold now. Terror, delicious terror, lingers in the dead man's eyes. Death is a necessary precaution, comes a voice next to her. She turns her gaze over to him, to the man they spent ages searching for, and finally found in the cold winds of the north. His cloaked figure lifts himself from where he had been crouched by the dead man. We couldn't have villagers realize my cohorts and I are back on the rise. Your foresight will be rewarded, Black Viper. The voice hisses within her, using the man's moniker, for he moves lithely and quietly, like a serpent in the grass. And now that we've finally found you, we must head for the Snake River. Amara obediently rises and heads for the jutting rock on the outskirts of the cave, located next to the winding river. There, she produces a gem from the inside of her cloak. The Bloodstone, dark as crimson, winks even in the dying daylight. The gem that will bring them the wishes they desire most. The voice within her rumbles with power, echoing off every wall of the cave, hidden deep within the icy mountainside. The first time she'd seen her master, it had been like a fever dream. She'd thought she was dying, was being swallowed by the snake pit when she heard him. First, just a voice. Then the visions. Visions had never come to her, not with her magicless blood. But she had seen him, seen his eyes, in a still pond of water in a lone Abayan cave. She thought for a moment that she was hallucinating. Then there came the snap of acid, the taste of copper and blood. Magic. In a blink, she was in the sky. No longer simply Amara Gupta, a woman who had lost her husband, who had manipulated the Raja, who had poisoned her own son. A woman who had been abused so thoroughly that she refused to find herself a victim again. Cruelty is no stranger to her, but the cruel would never again be able to threaten her. It is time for her to tell her own story. Time for her to hold her own power. I will become the Soul Master, a being above all others. She imagines the control she would have over all who cross her, what she could do to the nation that had betrayed her. She could see Kama burning to the ground at her will, flames licking the air. She could envision the kingdom cracked in two, its pieces crumbling into dust. Amara tucks her hands around the golden cuffs on her wrists. The Memory Master's talisman glows like a caught star, and she watches the air fill with blinding gold light. The Black Viper flicks his knife into the air. Amara extends her bare arm and lets him slice into her skin. Blood, red as roses, fills the river. The water bubbles into a lingering crimson as if alive, before settling back into its calming blue churn. She grins. After weeks of shivering in caves and preying on the lost to gain strength, Amara feels her and her master's dreams drawing ever closer. Dreams once tasting of dust, now sweet as clouds, ringing true. I will inform the others, the cloaked man says in farewell.